Alright. What the hell is going on, everybody, and welcome back. Today we're looking at a stream of mine. A stream which was a turning point. Because leading into this stream, I was straight up depressed by my skill level in StarCraft. It wasn't just the skill level, like it's not really the number next to my name that mattered. It was the feeling of always being on the back foot in every game. I like to attack. I like to be in charge. I like to have map control and vision. That's why Zerg is my original race. I like seeing the map with creep and overlords and doing backstabs and counterattacks and all this sort of stuff. I don't like feeling like there's attacks that are just materializing at my base and I didn't even notice them coming across the map. I don't like getting surprised by big all-ins and getting overwhelmed. And I was constantly in those scenarios. I was just getting wrecked playing random. So in this ladder session, I said, you know what? I don't care about appealing to all three factions in the audience. There's going to be people saying, oh, when are you playing Terran? Are you playing Protoss today? I said, no, we're just playing Zerg today. We're just playing one race right now that I really feel needs work desperately. And I am just going to do the same build every single game. We're going to open 15 hatchery, 15 spawning pool every single game. We're going to macro up and play the game and just only focus on trying to get repeat situations and improve the build order game to game. And not only that, I had a very important psychological thing, which I really should mention. I almost forgot to say this, but I'm realizing it now. I said to myself, and it was in my stream title, something like, I don't care about losing. You know, basically it was like, I am just here to practice and the goalpost's not win or lose. I am literally just, can I not get supply blocked for the first 6 minutes? Can I get the build order a little bit tighter each game, one after the other? And that was the whole goal. And I said, look, because I always say this, and I tell my audience, people that say, oh, I'm depressed, I can't win against Terran. Oh, I hate this matchup. Oh, I'm struggling. StarCraft's pissing me off. I used to love it. Now it's driving me crazy. I always say, hey, guys, you should be able to enjoy losing as well as winning. I'm always at my best, having the most fun playing StarCraft when I'm enjoying winning and losing both. Definitely a thing. So that was the goal here. It was like, let's just get this opening down. Same opening for all three matchups, even though it branches off from there. And let's see what I can actually make happen. And I just feel like this was almost a spiritual stream for me. So strap yourselves in. And it was really interesting to see, because how I experienced it, I'm sure is different to what it's like now watching it. So you can see me here. I'm just talking through my opening, and that's what I've been kind of talking about so far is like, okay, we're going 2 queens. We should go for a 3rd and a 4th queen immediately. The 4th queen has not started. So, slight mistake there, but my opponent's overlord is being gift wrapped for me, which is a huge mistake from him. I think that was a misclick, and being able to kill that would be massive. Despite that, are we building overlords and drones? Doesn't appear we are. Awesome. So first game of the day, a little bit rusty. Already we've forgotten our 3rd queen. There we go, our 4th queen. It just started up, but we're supply blocked. Oh, but we see a Link Flood. Link Flood's coming. Oh my god, I just noticed it. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. This is exactly it. You're just there. You're trying to warm up, and in comes the Link Flood. I didn't even notice it. I'm watching the replay. I completely forgot that this session started this way. I have to cancel my roach horn, which means I can't build roaches. Queens are on the ramp, and I'm trying to make sure they are rock solid next to each other. 3rd queen comes down behind them. Now, we're going to try and mineral walk those drones through the queens to help defend them. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Okay, the drones are blocking. Now hold position so that they don't fight. Notice I'm pulling the drones back. If the drones are attacking, they will get targeted, but otherwise he needs to manually target each one individually in order to kill them. Keep the queens on the ramp. Do not go off that ramp. Let them get transfused. And now I've got my own Zerglings. I can go back to mining. Dude, just watching this, I'm not even breathing. I'm feeling my breath catch. And you can see, look at my camera. I'm like a little bit like twitchy and angry there with the way I'm moving my mouse around. But 4 queens on the ramp, more transfuses. We got a GG. Cool, that's a proper skill test.
That's why you send your overlord in, guys, so you can hopefully get a fucking tell. That would have been very nice if I got that tell, wouldn't it? Shit me.
I forgot to send the overlord in, did I?
I mean, no, there's not really much of a
You
tell
can hear
there,
how frustrated I am.
There's no drones on the natural, I guess. Because what was this build? Was this a fucking... No. What? Spawning pool's really late. What are you doing, dude? Your spawning pool's like fucking 8 seconds late.
This is definitely not an optimal version of this build, guys. It is, there's so few drones.
This guy's never seen a build order before. Right?
This guy's never seen it.
6 drones on minerals? What the f... Oh, Radu set.
All right, we're gonna go into our next game up against Ruff. So this is kind of funny. I'm basically pointing out at the start of the game, you know, he plays super weird. I'll have to scout and really watch out for it. Make sure I don't get my overlords killed by Marines, and I try really hard to scout what he's up to. So we're gonna make that one adjustment to the player. Just scout better and don't lose your overlords to Marines because he likes to go hunting. Otherwise, play a normal build. Just want to laugh about my reaction after that first game. Looking back on it now, I'm kind of like, you know what? Yeah, that's a really good you know, getting surprised by a rush like that. Like, was my build perfect? No. But getting the overlord kill, getting the queens on their ramp, and then just defending using those drones pulling down, getting out some zerglings, it was overall a decent enough response. And I think it was good that I managed to hold. But I still looked a bit twitchy, a bit stressed. You can kind of see, even watching myself on camera, I can see like that I'm still kind of quite tense here. Because remember, this is not me entering that flow state. This is me trying to get back to the flow state by just keeping things simple. Same opening over and over. Now, funny thing, I actually do a different opening this game. And the reason why I'm going hatch gas pool is simply because it's Rudd who set station. So it is a little bit of a different opening, but I'm basically like, look, for this map, this 1 out of the 9 maps, it is so freakishly giant. And I'm playing Ruff. If I don't get gas up early and Ling speed, I think it's going to be kind of tough. And you know what, guys? In hindsight, I've played Ruff and multiple other mech players since then and sneaky guys. This build is not as good as going for my 15-15. Because with my 15 hatch 15 pool, I actually end up getting a lair up really early and I get an overseer scout. So that's actually the best scouting there is. Plus I'm on 2 base roach, which is incredibly safe as well. So I actually think that I like the idea of what I did here. And if I hadn't really thought through, I'm playing Ruff, I'm playing a sneaky mech player, what do I do? You know, how do I make that adjustment? And in fact, turns out I was misremembering. I forgot that he sends Marines out to go hunting, and I'm going to lose my first overlord. Maybe I played him either later again today or one of the following days.
I didn't actually
but yeah. Normally what I'd do is I'd send that Marine down the far left of the map. I'd go straight to the far left and down there, or I'd go straight down the right of the map and try to get in, basically try to get in the back door of his base somehow. Oh, this is cute. No way that survives. No way that survives. No.
I'm starting one now.
Okay, so we're expecting really fast Hellions. That's one of Ruff's favorite things to do. The 2 Zerglings will confirm it. If that's the case, I'm going to need to try and block him with Queens and Zerglings from getting past. If he gets past my Queens, it's way before Ling Speed's done, and it'll cause me a bit of trouble. Oh yeah, it is Hellions. So I do confirm that now. I don't know why I'm still microing that. That's not really going to achieve anything, just hoping to get a hit on the Hellions. And you see, I don't have 4 queens. So to wall it off, I am going to need to be building some buildings. And even then, that's not enough to full wall it. I'm trying to really position the queens, but I will need a few Zerglings and potentially these next 2 queens to come down to help out. Notice I spread the Zerglings because if they stack up on each other in that choke point, the Hellions could blast them in 2 volleys and then get through. We've managed to defend. We're going to mine out our back door. And we're going to be basically going overlord speed and just droning up our bases.
Cool.
This is so perfect because I really wanted to do the same opening every game this session. Just play Zerg, get in my rhythm. I've already dealt with a crazy Zerg all in. Now I'm dealing with a insanely fast Hellion rush into God knows what. Because it's rough. Could be Cyclone Hellion. Could be Hellbat timing. Could be the fastest battlecruiser ever. Could be 2-port Banshee. Could be a ghost drop. He could try to nuke me. You never know. Ruff has so many weird build orders. So I'm already being forced to adapt more than I'd like. But remember, the goal here isn't to necessarily, oh God, if I don't see what it is, panic. It's like, I'm just like, you know what? Go hatch gas pool. And what have I done? I've gone overlord speed. The moment I defended the Hellions, I went overlord speed. And that allows me to keep that overlord alive, which is great. I've got other overlords going across the map to scout right now. I somehow luckily kept my first overlord up. And this is actually coming together quite nicely because as long as I'm not surprised by him, I have roaches for safety on the ground. I get a lair up so I can go spire if I need it for battlecruiser. I just need to build economy because Ruff is at his core a tech rush player. He likes to rush very fancy tech, get damage, switch into something else you're not expecting, and then something else that you're not expecting. It's a bunch of surprises. Some people call this cheesy play. It's not necessarily cheesy. You could see my drone couldn't get out, so I had to move my queen out of the way. But if you keep building economy, you're always going to get ahead. Because guys like Ruff are incredibly tricky and good, but they're never going to focus on the economy as their priority. So that's kind of the way you're always constantly getting ahead.
Fusion cores.
Armory, 2 ports and a fusion core. So we know exactly what's happening there. As I said, we know it's a battlecruiser tech now. And I've just got to kind of hang on, defend for a little bit. Oh my god, he muled out my back door? Dude, what a savage. I totally forgot he did this. This was just a few days ago. But yeah, I remember the end of this ladder session, I think. I don't remember the start of it at all. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, Lings can't fight Hellbats. I gotta go around behind. Oh, okay, get a wrap around on the Cyclones. Nice transfuses from the Queens. Roach is popping as well. That was actually a very pretty engagement. He should have disengaged from the Queens a little bit faster.
Move by him.
Slight mistake from him.
I think we're okay.
And that spy is real late. Okay, so this is what I'm kind of worried about, because I think his battlecruisers should be about 20 seconds complete right now. And remember, it takes 64 seconds to build a battlecruiser. So they're going to arrive somewhere in the next minute, probably the next 40 seconds. But if I move out with my Roach Ling, we just killed all of his Cyclones and Hellbats. If he teleports his battlecruisers over, he won't have defense at home. Despite that, watching this in hindsight, the fact that I still haven't started spores is insane. I am so confident that my roaches are keeping him pinned at home that I have delayed these spores to a wild amount. Notice I put a spore crawler right next to the battlecruiser as well. That's really key, because if you lose your Spire, right next to the Spire, because otherwise the battlecruisers will teleport on top and snipe the Spire. That's one of Ruff's special moves. I've cast a lot of Ruff's replays over the years, so I know a lot of his tricks and his kind of dirty comeback tools. Now we know there's Hellions coming. I should have my Queens in the wall off, but I don't. A little sloppy. All right, so I've broken the depot. We're going to move in. Try to take out these Cyclones as they pop, and then move into that mineral end. Queens are going to take out the Hellions. Oh, I had Zerglings as well. Okay, that's smart. So the fact that I had Lings as well building is why I didn't need to wall off with the Queens, and I could kind of bait the Hellions to run past into the Zerglings. Now the battlecruisers are here, and you can see we're just trying to kill as many SCVs as we can before the battlecruisers do take them out, and then we want to go straight into Corruptors behind this. We're going to try and run around a little bit more, waste a bit more time if we can. If we can get some Lings into that base, that'll be amazing. But the battlecruisers have teleported in. All right, so we're going to run our drones away now, down to that base, build another spore there. One spore does not stop one battlecruiser, let alone 2 guys. But with some nice transfuses, and I should have 10 Corruptors on the way. You can see hotkey 3 down there. 1 Queen does go down, but he just teleported in, and there is no way dropping Mules is going to save him. So it's funny, as we get into this next one, I'm just going to talk over myself again a little bit. Oh, that guy just left. Oh, I forgot. We got a free win. We got a free win in this ladder session. Totally forgot about that.
Doesn't like playing TVZ.
And the opponent was not in the mood for TVZ that day, apparently. Was playing the other matchups and leaving their TVZs by the looks of it.
This guy leave every TVZ, or is he just raging today, is the question. I played a 24-minute game versus Bango, so we can thank Bango for that victory. The last Zerg they played beat them in a 24-minute game, and it broke them.
Okay, so we've survived 2 very janky North American games early on. And I think for anyone who maybe plays in GM on EU, and you get weirdos on every server, I think the level of weird on NA and the range is truly staggering some days, where it just feels like everybody is bringing a crazy all-in out.
Have like 14 different accounts.
You know what's funny, guys? I thought this would be a good video to commentate over, but I've already had to speak over myself so much. And I'm going to have to ask my lovely editor to lower the volume of myself on that audio track as I talk over myself, because I keep doing it. But
I wonder if she does that.
My whole goal in this session was to not entertain the chat and to just play the game, focus on my builds. And yet, it's kind of funny. Maybe I'm such a streamer at this point that I'm even happier.
Just don't stop making army off 66 drones. Try to take really good
I'm even more relaxed, I guess, when my focus is a bit simpler, and I end up just talking out loud when I'm thinking about it a lot more. So to summarize,
play Roach Hydra into Lurker off a low economy into it, just because it bypasses the Baneling tech, which I'm going to struggle to micro. And we have to figure out what she's doing first. She doesn't really have a cannon rush, so we don't have to worry too much about that.
When I say she doesn't have a cannon rush, what I mean is she never cannon rushes. She's not a player who has a good cannon rush. What I mean is she's never practiced it. She doesn't have that as one of her skills. But Nina is an incredibly high-level player, and I've already mentioned here that she is playing lately a lot of 2-gas Protoss, where she gets an incredibly fast third and masses an insane amount of zealots. Fast third, fast fourth, fast 5 base. And it is very hard to play against, because if you play defensive and try to drone up your own 4 bases, she will swarm you with like 100 zealots hitting every base at once. And even though Banelings are good against zealots and they counter them, good luck microing your banelings correctly when you're fighting in 5 places at once. Your banelings are going to end up blowing up on individual zealots all the time. She's very good with her micro and not be efficient. So I've said, you know what? The counter is to just mass units off 66 drones. You can't be going too high on workers. Just mass units.
Why has she not got a wall off?
I'm going, why doesn't she have a wall off? It's just a weird recessed wall off. She's built it a bit further back than players normally do. But it did kind of panic me for a second. Now, I did say, what did I say? 66 drone, low economy roach hydra lurker was probably going to be how I would try to deal with it. But I think the first part of that was the more important part, which is don't stop making army off 66 drones. Seeing a Protoss take a 4th and a 5th base, it's scary. But if you remember that the Protoss is only on 2 gas and only making zealots, you got to think of them as a peasant Protoss. Most Protoss, what do? They take like 6 gases. They're going, I'm going to take lasers. I'm going to make Colossus and Storm and Archons and Immortals and Disruptors and all those power units that just make your stuff disappear. But if Nina's doing that build that we expect, that she's been spamming on ladder recently, then it's different. They're basically building melee units only. The cheapest, crappiest unit out there. They're not bad units if they can get surface area. But once you hit a critical mass of units, melee units fall off very hard because they all get stuck behind each other. They can't all fight at once. Melee units are good for run-bys. They're good for hitting worker lines. They're good in small skirmishes. But the bigger a battle gets, the more they tend to fall off unless they can get a complete surround. If they get a surround, they're still very good. So keeping our eyes on that, and we're going to, of course, have to try and scout to confirm if that is indeed what this is. Oh, she's coming in with the Adepts. Oh my god, that's so annoying. I hate that positioning on this map. Luckily, she didn't focus the drones, but she's killing so many Zerglings. This still costs mining time and about 7 Zerglings.
That's frustrating. Oh, well.
Yeah, I already sound frustrated. That's frustrating indeed, past pig. All right, so the Adepts are going to come back in. I don't think they finished this shade. She doesn't know how many more Zerglings are about to pop. She's just going to pull those Adepts back. We can already see the 3rd base is on the way very fast, but I'm so focused on Overlords, drones, fixing my economy. And I am now building Spores, which makes sense because I've seen a Void Ray. You don't really need Spores versus Void Ray, to be fair, though. I could cancel that because they're not fast like an Oracle. It's more the other stuff that you need to defend. Pulling the Overlords back for safety there. You can see I'm a little bit tense going, why the hell has she got a Void Ray for? She's playing a different style. Oh, getting in there again. Okay, I blocked one of the Adepts from getting in, which is nice. Drones are going to get some damage as well. Notice the drones go back to mining, so they don't block the Zerglings. Tried to do a Spore trick, didn't get it down in time. Bit of damage on the Void Ray, which is nice. I've got a bunch of drones rallying to my Zergling hotkey, so I'm fumbling a little bit. And this is where, man, I look so intense on my face already. This is where I've got to remember to just breathe and just play the game.
I see what's happened.
Macro, react, and breathe. But you can tell I'm in such a heightened state whenever I'm playing StarCraft before this ladder session. And I'd often get like this, where I'm just trying to do everything at once. And I'm almost like too worried about the outcome of the game. And it's like, yeah, you got to just find that flow state, man. Don't need to necessarily be spamming every button right on time. And often, I think what happens here, and essentially what this whole video is about, and what this ladder session was about for me, is trying to get over the constant tilting of myself that I was doing by having unrealistic expectations and kind of clutching at victory too hard and not letting myself just play the game. And turns out, if you're too obsessed over victory, you don't let yourself play the game. You play the game badly, you get angry, you play the game worse, you get angrier at playing it worse, and it's a spiraling effect. It's a bit of a snowball. Gets out of control real quick. Now, I've got good creep spread, I've got a roach horn, gold base is on the way. I really should be overseer scouting since she's left that Overlord in the far north. I've actually got a surprising amount of map vision. Notice I've got a ring of Zerglings, seeing if she's going for a base. But I've forgotten to scout the top base. I think having the Overlord so close makes me think, you know? That's the thing. Now I see the Zealot, so I confirm it is indeed the style I thought. I started droning my 4th. I'm going for a Spire. But now I need to do nothing but build roaches. I'm in emergency mode. I'm in survival mode.
I assumed 2 Void Rays was...
Okay, I assumed the 2 Void Rays was Sky Toss, I was about to say, and then I got distracted.
Gonna be more of a different build.
But it is indeed 2 Void Rays just into the Mass Zealot build. I don't even need to look. That blob of red in her main is 100% a billion gateways, a Forge, and a Twilight. There's nothing else it could be. Oh, I'm supply blocked on 128. Hopefully I've got Overlords in production, because my money's not high.
It's defensive.
And it's a
Oh, okay.
defensive mass zealot, which is what's surprising me. Because normally she's very offensive and swarming, and it's 7 minutes, and all she's done is poke with 2 Void Rays. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm massing roaches. I've got creep going forward, and I'm realizing, well, if I end up maxing out on roaches, I might need to go do a big all-in. But for now, oh, I'm going to try and trap those zealots so my roaches can kill them. They do kill the zerglings pretty quickly, but notice I'm stutter stepping on top because I feel like I've got the numbers. Do I not have roach speed? Apparently not. It is about to finish. You can see I jumped back, clicked on the roach horn, and checked, and I was like, oh yeah, roach speed's about to finish because I was expecting it to be done there. Now, I kind of want to go mutas at this point, but there's a different part of me that says, hey, it's kind of late to go mutalisks. It's not that powerful. Let's just keep massing roach, and let's try and do a giant attack. And especially seeing the High Templar, she's just warped in. She doesn't have Storm yet. I've got more units on the way. Masses of roaches. 53 units on Control Group 2 coming forwards. I've got Queens walking in. Queens aren't going to be here for the first wave. Unfortunately, I am slightly supply blocked yet again. Looks like the Queens, though, are beating back the Void Rays in the middle. And the roaches, we got to go for it right now. I think Storm might just be finished, though. Yeah, she's got enough energy for Storm, I can tell, because there's almost 2 bars of energy. So I'm going to have to spread. The moment I see a Psy Storm, I got to spread these roaches out. They can tank 1 big Storm to the face, but it is a little bit risky. I'm going to wait for the Queens. I'm going to pull back, keep massing roaches. I'm going for an Evo Chamber behind it, as well as, I believe, an Infestation Pit. Because I'm already... No, that's actually double Evo. Okay, so I'm thinking about getting double upgrades afterwards. I've got 10 Mutalisks on the way behind this as well, but I need more damage. I just took a giant storm, so I'm pre-spreading now. She is storming her own Zealots as well. Oh, can the Queens beat those Void Rays is my question. I probably should have been biling the Void Rays rather than the Archons, but one of the Void Rays fell. It's still 3 Queens against just 2. And as long as she doesn't have any more splash damage, I can ball the Roaches up. When the Roaches are balled up versus the High Templar, they don't take much damage to the Storm. So we're doing a lot of damage here. We're picking off tons of units. The Void Rays are doing so much, though. Oh, they're very awkward to play against. If I could take out the shield battery, that might work out. So we're going to go after the probes on this third. Queens will eventually fall. She's got 4 Void Rays. But the Mutalisks should be arriving by now as well. And indeed they are. They're on the south side. So Mutas are entering her natural. And notice I'm trying to lure the Void Rays up here to the left. If they follow the Roachling, they won't be in position to deal with those Mutas. We're going to go Hydroden behind this. And you know what's funny, guys? In this sort of game, I would always be going straight for Lurkers these days. But I'm realizing I think I learnt that this game. Because I'm like, man, if I already had a Hive on the way behind this, I don't even need to do any more damage. It's already game over. As it is, I'm still doing insane damage. I mean, this is crazy, right? She's got no answer to the Mutalisk. She has like 5 Void Rays and Zealots only. And this is indeed a very, very big setup. And once again, 3 for 3, or 4 for 4 if we count the lever. Games where the opponent did weird stuff, right? We have not had anything close to the classic European macro Virgin game. And it's days like this that remind me that you can never count on that. Pretty much ever. Not on StarCraft Ladder. If you want to play some macro games to get back in your rhythm, you have to ask a buddy for practice partner games, a practice partner, and say, hey man, let's play some bloody games. Let's practice. Let's get together and, you know, just play some chill macro games. Just don't all in me, please. You know, and then you can really get in your rhythm. But if you're playing on ladder, people are trying to get those points. People are trying to win however they can. And it's not like this was a dirty all-in from Nina. It was just a very fast 5-base mass Zealot Void Ray into Storm style. Not something you see every day. I kind of figured out this Roach Max push, I guess somewhat instinctively, because I wanted to go mutas. I wanted to draw in the 4th. And it felt like because I had to react so hard to the Zealots and I had the wrong read, I wasn't ready for the Zealots initially, it just didn't quite work out. And I noticed I was about to put on gas there, but I realized I've already got the purple gas on the 4th, the gold base. And I've got way more gas than minerals, so I was like, wait a second, we don't need to do that. And for now, I'm like, okay, Lurkers is still a while out, but I've got 1-1. I've got both Hydra upgrades about to finish. Let's get a few more drones on minerals to beef up my income, and let's keep trading, because I know Nina is in a terrible position right now. So we pull the Lings back on the south, Mutas in the north. Mutas are going to move into the main base. At the same time, Hydras are coming in between the bases. If we're in between the bases, the High Templar have to attack to us. If we've got to push into the High Templar, it means we're eating storms. But if we can pre-spread here, as soon as we see her moving south, her storms are not going to do that much. Mutas are going to go down, but that's okay. We do take 1 big storm. That's what happens when you don't pre-spread. And it looks like Grooved Spines is done, but Muscular Augment's not quite. But there we go. Her storms are gone. That's the last one. It does actually land bigger than I expected. Phoenix, Void Race, Archon's going down. And you can see me heaving a sigh of relief. And I think in hindsight watching this, I was extra tense. Fun build for her, I say. Very fun. In hindsight, I think I was extra stressed this game because I know how good she is, and she's kind of traumatized me. So she's got the big psychological edge over me because I know when I'm playing Nina, chances are I'm getting my butt kicked.
Push a lot better.
And I'm getting my butt kicked.
Maybe the fact that it was done so poorly disguised it though. Like she didn't know it was coming because it didn't look like I was doing that build because I did it so badly. Sometimes playing badly helps you in StarCraft.
I kind of say that. It sounds like a joke, but I actually stand by what I just said there. My build was not well timed, but it's extra surprising because of that.
Like
that's how Dark plays. All right, so we're going into a ZVP here against the 5k Protoss.
Guys. Let me check. Yeah,
lots of ZVP today. So we should be going 15-15 again, and just tuning back in there, guys. Didn't want to speak over myself while I was doing the post-game replay analysis. Going to try not to do that. But yeah, I think essentially it's good to really look at the replay and understand what happened. Because I felt like my push wasn't very good.
Oh, what are we on? Alcyon.
But it worked very well.
So we're on Alcyon. Let's go third to the right. Fourth there. Fifth there. Try and use that gold base. This is good. A little bit of planning where my bases are in the early game. Just making sure I know exactly where my bases are going to go. Putting my camera locations there on that side. Extract a trick. Let's go.
You want to have the same expansion pattern.
ZVP is a matchup that's all about catching your opponent with timings and stuff.
All the time.
So just check we're not being cannoned.
That probe looked a little suspicious. So we're just checking that natural right now. But yeah, watching replays and understanding what happened is huge. Because like, yeah, my build might not have been that great, but Nina played insanely greedy and she didn't really scout in that last game. So we got away with a win. And, you know, it worked. It was a bit of an odd one. I'm not sure if she misread the game or she was just playing completely blind.
Attack my spawning pool as much as you want. That ain't doing any damage to me.
Yeah. If you're going to scout this early and you don't get the block, a lot of players are kind of get frustrated by it. It's a bit dangerous to attack the drones if you don't have the multitasking.
Guy to the natural. The reason being that means you can immediately be returning minerals there when that finishes.
I should actually send 2 drones to the natural, guys. That's the better way of doing it usually.
Oops, building that extra drone just delayed my second queen by a few seconds. I was sloppy.
Yeah.
Normally you'd want one of those to be the thingo as well.
I think if you're perfect with your mineral mining and you don't get harassed too much by a probe, you can actually always start the drone before the queen. But because I didn't send that second drone to the natural straight away, and I wasted a bit of time attacking him and scouting for my natural early on.
Try and catch this guy.
I was in trouble. So I'm going to try and catch the probe, I said. Yeah, because we knew we'd be checking both third bases.
We'll take that.
Might not seem big, but little things like that stack up. So I cancel my third queen. And this is my favorite ZVP build right now, but this is the early days of doing it, so we get to do a nice little review of how well I did. Oops, I forgot to pull off gas. Normally I go ling speed and pull off gas, then start the third on 32. Right after, you want to go for an overlord.
Oh, he did actually go to intercept.
And then drone up as much as you can. Now, I thought the adepts were chronoing across the map, but because it's chased me home, that means I don't need to build zerglings for a while, because there's no chance of a double adept pressure for quite some time. And now, whoa! Whoa. Extra gateways instead of tech. It's meant to be a Stargate or a Twilight, guys. This is already a very weird play.
Probably 3-gate then.
So I need to go look for proxies right now. I need to figure out where he's going to be hitting me from, because there is definitely something highly aggressive coming my way. So you can see I'm scouting with the Overlord. There's a third gate in the wall.
Okay, no worries.
And there's an adept over on that right side. I've sent a zergling around the top left, which is where I'm guessing that gateway would be, but I haven't found it yet. And you can see I'm ultra focused. Welcome to the North American ladder, ladies and gentlemen. You will be facing odd, high-paced aggression game after game. And you never know how committed it is. Neither does your opponent. So with this build, you need to get roaches out, but you can't get roaches for the first adept wave. So you get forced into about 20 zerglings. And then a lot of players are so eager to drone up, they drone up really hard, and then a ton of glaive adepts hit them. So normally it's 3 or 4 gate adepts, and they hit you with a handful of adepts, and then a few more adepts. And then they recall home, and then they come back with like a ton of adepts with glaives. This isn't necessarily that. That's probably what I was thinking in the heat of the moment. And watching it now, I'm trying to remember what happened in this game, and I'm like, it's 4 minutes 30? Why have no adepts arrived yet? They're meant to have arrived by now if they're hitting pre-glaives. And otherwise, like, I'm just like, what is this build? Maybe because they got scouted, they canceled it. They canceled one of the gateways and they did something different. Oh, here we go. 5 adepts, but it's almost 5 minutes, so it's not a particularly sharp timing. There's no third base, so I am building roaches. Realizing, you know, I've got to build roaches now. Lings aren't going to cut it in the long run. And notice I put my lings on control group 3, roaches on 2. So the roaches and the queens can kind of greet the adepts out front, and then the lings will chase the shade. I'll probably have to send some roaches after the shades as well. Now, I saw those adepts come up here, and I'm kind of like, aren't they up there? Like, what the hell? Are they hiding behind that mineral line? I am so confused, and I think at some point here it's going to dawn on me that he's probably just taken a gold base. Oh god, what is that on the map? Okay, yeah. Okay, so this was just 3 gate into delayed glaives. Whoa. Okay, so we're running our drones away right now. Wild strategy. 5.5 minute mass adept timing. Lings are going to chase them, but you know what? The roach queen is not going to get back here in time. Those lings are fighting on their own. Luckily, some roaches are popping out. If we can kill a few of these adepts, maybe it'll help out, but we're going to have to run drones. When someone commits this hard, you have to run drones. All right, notice I'm splitting the roaches and the queens up to try and deal with everything at once. And these guys down there at the third will get wrecked. We're going to cancel that Evo chamber now that the adepts are forced to that right side. And he's going to shade into the natural. So I probably need to F2 over there. Oh, but Warp Prism's being a bit of a D-bag as well. Adept shade into the middle area. We do end up deflecting them, and I'm lucky his micro is not that good. It's these delayed timings that always shock me. You can see how much adrenaline's pumping. Look at that camera. Does that man look like he's breathing? Does he look relaxed right now? No, he looks tense as shit. Do not copy how I play StarCraft on days like this, guys. It is not healthy. To be fair, I am very focused, even though I am incredibly tense while I'm playing. So that there's some small upsides mixed in with the overly tense downsides of having a sore neck at the end of the play from spazzing out and trying to control things a bit too much. Oh, queens. Nice. Can't kill it. Get some damage on it. Not bad. Gonna still try and stick to the expansion pattern despite that prism hanging out there being a D-bag. Trying to drone up, of course. And it might feel like my economy's a bit awkward, which it is. But because I saw the third base just started, I know that my opponent was so committed. And notice I'm just gonna send a few roaches there. We're gonna keep queens and roaches back in reserve in case he rotates into the main. Or comes in from a different angle. So yeah, there's a queen on the edge of the main, just basically disincentivizing him from moving in, saying, hey, if you move in, you're going to start getting hit immediately, and you really need to pay attention to not lose the prism. Roach speed, +1, and Aspire. So I've decided this is, and these are the mainstays of just basic solid ZVP, right? Get +1 range, or melee if you prefer, get Aspire. This is how I like to play the matchup. I can do a Roach all-in, I can go Ravagerling Bane, I can tech up to Lurkers, or I can commit hard to Mutalisks. I can cancel that Spire if it gets scouted, or if it doesn't get scouted, I can commit really hard to Muters. And it really depends, what my opponent sees. So being aware of what my opponent sees in the game is very important. And with that hallucination, he's almost certain to see that I am indeed going Spire. So I think I'm kind of assuming he's seeing it. Even though, watching this now, I'm not sure he did. Hydrogen Infestation Pit comes down. So I'm already going, yeah, I think that's me saying, hey, he's going to scout the Muters. Probably not going to do much. Let's just tech to Hive. I don't think it's a bad way to play. I think sometimes it kind of depends. If you're playing a Protoss player who just doesn't scout that much and just does like a super greedy macro build or just does a timing attack that's like really well defined, and it's almost like that's just how they play the matchup, this is actually a bad way of playing. But if you're playing a Protoss who really tries to scout and react, what I'm doing is very good. Because there's so many different things I can do, all different directions from the same opening. The downside is it's not that efficient. So notice how I've decided to go for the Roach Max again before kind of teching up.
I don't know why I'm making so much tech and delaying my push so long, but I guess I'm just feeling a little bit indecisive.
Feeling a bit indecisive? Absolutely. I mean, I'm playing very much like, look, I've got a Hydra Den. Look, I've got an Infestation Pit. Look, I've got a Spire. Like, I'm doing all the things. Now, Wall-Off comes up, immediately gets cancelled. And we're basically just going for a big Roach Max push. I don't know what I'm running into. This is my first time seeing his army, so I haven't been scouting very well. But it's just a Mortal Stalker. That's not too scary. I have so many Roaches, and those Zealots are not very useful at all. So the Zealots are just running in and dying. And we're going to come in now. As those force fields run out, dude, if these Immortals get taken down, that's all of his damage. Notice how we're just moving in. We're just trying to take the Immortals down. I'm not even focus firing, because I just figure as long as they're getting hit there we go. Now I'm focus firing those last 2 Immortals, while half my Roach Ravager is still fighting up north. And that is a huge amount of damage. Now, Queens are going to come up and try to defend the Prism. We're going to try to build some more Mutalisks to deal with that, finish cleaning it up as well. The Roach Ravager over here, we're going to try and bait him out of his wall-off. A lot of Protoss players struggle with that micro, so he kind of blinks outside, and he is going to overwhelm me there, but I did kill his army. Now, you might think, is that enough? Well, I'm only on 3 bases, so not necessarily. But, oh, I killed his whole army. Oh, that's enough. Oh, yeah. Because my army can be replaced much easier than his. His units are so expensive. I've got Mutalisks out, but if I want to go for Lurkers, I need like 20 more drones. Because I'm building extractors, you know, I lost a few drones potentially in my natural. I have got to get more economy. So, we're going to go up there and deal with that if he warps in. For now, though, the Mutalisks have not gone for the Prism. You might be wondering why. It's more important to get surprise damage. We can clean up the Prism afterwards with whatever Mutalisks survive. And that's why we're diving in here right now. Lings are going to run in. We're going to click some of the Zerglings on the shield battery. Mutalisks over there get blinked on. They're going to try to rotate into the main. Well, we got it. Bit of a sigh of relief there.
What's up, Ace Rimmer? Is Mech Terran standard now on the highest ladder level? No. So the latest changes haven't gone through yet. The previous round, though, with the Cyclone, you know, the initial Cyclone changes was a good luck, have fun, mate. It was meant to allow, you know, try and help mech be a bit more of a thing. To be fair, we have seen a little bit more mech against Zerg from like Maru and stuff, so I guess it's kind of worked. But I don't think we've really seen any pro mech. Australia was fucking around with it the other day, but that's, you know, his off race and custom games. It's not terrible by any means, and it can definitely work below the top level, but the higher you get, the immobility of mech kind of punishes you more and more. Because when you get advantages, it's just very hard to actually press the advantage, because you're not very fast. Are you cannoning me? You're just faking me out, dickhead. You're faking me out. That's it's too sus the way he's moving. Maybe he actually was just still trying to block it. Maybe he'd set up a patrol path before. I wasn't expecting a 15-15.
Alright guys, so post-pig here. Looks like I'm finally going to shut up. Just one last note on that last map. If I had walled off if I had a Roach Horn at my wall off, I could have put an Evo chamber and a second Evo chamber down to full wall my natural. Would have made defending so much easier. And that's something which I've started to do a little bit more in this matchup. But looking back on that one, I'm like, oh, I gotta remember to do that every game, because it simplifies those big adept timings so much. If you can block the mobility of the shade, you just have to defend your third base. It's a game changer. Now you'll notice I'm trying to stop him harassing me. It is worth attacking with a drone if you don't have very good micro like me. It's just an easier way of defending and stopping him from interrupting your mining. Now we're going to build 2 queens and a few zerglings. Notice this time I'm onto gas a little bit quicker. So I'm refining the build, realizing, hey man, I want to get ling speed, pull off gas, then the third hatchery, then the overlord.
You can go out here.
And you can kind of see game to game because I'm doing the same opening. I'm trying to get that flow going.
Get back to the ramp.
Yeah, this session was, I actually played it
fine.
In the evening when I normally play in my morning time. There we go. So we've pulled off gas. We should be building a third now. We don't have a drone at the third base, pig. It's okay. It's not too bad. The drone's already on the way over. So we can start that now.
I don't know. I just couldn't resist. I'm such a fucking child.
I forgot I said that. I use the core, by the way, so my keyboard's out to the left of me when I play, and I'm using the right side, so it's especially hard for me to type messages because I have to move my hands all the way out to the left side of my body. So anyone who's ever seen me type on my keyboard in the middle of a game, you would understand why I'm not much for bantering while I play
Second
StarCraft.
gate already. What the fuck is this?
And then I'm realizing there's a second gate there.
Third and fourth queen are on the way. Notice we saw him going high ground, so we go this way. And then we try to get to the dead space. And if he goes back the other direction, we change angle.
So this second gate is insanely early, guys. And I'm like, whoa, what's he doing? So I'm trying to figure out what's he doing? What's going on?
Are we even playing against Stargate? Doesn't feel like it.
At this point, it doesn't feel like it's a Stargate, but I don't know for sure. So I'm putting lings all over the map. Notice I've got lings and overlords, my overlord ring, plus I've got lings going to each watchtower. But I'm still trying to do my build. I'm trying to drone up, build queens, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to need a roach horn right now, or at least very soon. Yeah, so I've got the roach horn in the second
we
gas
should
of
see
building.
anything coming. Building lots of overlords right now. We're going to poke the ramp.
What's that?
Is the adepts down there or zealots? Adepts.
He's sneaking adepts out. What is this play, man? Dude, he's playing something really dirty and sneaky.
Oh, he's coming. All right.
Oh, it's an early wait, is this just a glaive adept? I think it's just a glaive adept timing.
Roaches are on the way.
Don't know why he built the early second gateway. It confused me in the heat of the moment. Look how tense I am. I don't have the roaches out yet, and I hate defending this without roaches. So I pull back the queen he's targeting. Good micro. But now my lings need to save the day. We need to save my queens. I lose one of my queens, which is rough. Hopefully I don't lose the next one. The lings are coming forward, but I desperately need roaches. They do join in. This actually works out really well for me. This looked very stressful, and it was. Oh, I lose another queen, though. Losing all my queens sucks. He committed to the shade, though. That's good for me, because I do have roaches on top, and as long as we focus fire, we can take out these adepts that are already heavily damaged. There's more roaches there. The queen in the main adds some damage. I'm still trying to inject in the midst of this, which is actually really, really important. I'm also trying to move some drones around. Unfortunately, I thought the roaches followed them. I left them on A move, and they just stopped chasing because he stutter stepped really nicely. So I'm going to run every drone from that base. I just used Control Shift to run them to my natural. We're now trying to run them back to the third, and we're trying to follow these guys as much as we can. Transfuse on the queen. Few lings and queens should be able to deal with that, especially with those drones, stopping them from microing away. And I lost more drones than I wanted to there. However, this was a big commitment from him. And I think I should be able to bounce back. But I'll need a lair soon, especially if he goes DTs. My lairs are about halfway done. I have no idea what my worker count is because all my bases are like unevenly saturated right now. So in this scenario, you're going to notice I rally every hatchery back to its own mineral line. So the drones are just automatically, without me telling them where to go, spreading out across all three bases, because all three bases need more workers right now. And then I can go back and individually fix it up when I have more actions. This is something you should always do when you're taking all your gases at once across multiple bases, or all your bases get messed up and you lose drones to harassment. And that way, each drone is slowly filling itself back up. And then once, say, my third is full, once I saturate the gases and the minerals, I can rally it back to the natural. Once it's full, I can rally back to the main. Or I can do that in the opposite order, right? Whichever base fills up first, I rally. Now, his third's really late. So I've been so focused on recovering my economy, and now I'm realizing, oh god, he might hit me with a really big timing really soon. Because if I'm full 3 bases and he's barely got probes on his third, oh, I could be in big trouble. I'm building a 4th base.
Good to know.
4th base, 5th base, Evo chamber. The prism is there, which means it's not hiding in the bottom corner anymore. I know it's been recalled. I actually sent an overlord there, so I should have already known that. But I've been on the back foot from the start, and I am just a bit behind.
Oh, hello.
And wow, that's weird. I was not expecting a DT, guys. Queens are in the main, ready for the rotation, while the ground army defends there. I have another base that I can use. So this is the glory of building a 4th and a 5th, is if you lose one, not a big deal. If you're ever floating money, more bases, more macro hatcheries as Zerg is big. Because they're not only mining potential, they're also production. Having a little bit of extra production, especially like the sloppier you are as a player, the more value you can get from having extra production. Because you're always going to be like, oh crap, I was busy microing. I didn't spend my money for a while. And then you come back and you're like, oh, okay, there we go. It's actually kind of nice now. Oh, I thought I was going to go Nidus one for a second there. Looks like I was just pressing the wrong hotkey. It is going to be Spire once again. So you can see, look at this. Notice I normally would hate doing the same thing over and over again on ladder.
66 drones.
Be like, oh, but what if they watch my
Taking
stream?
gases.
What if they know about the build? I'd be like second guessing myself. But notice I'm sinking into a bit more of a rhythm. 15-15 every game. And even though I'm dealing with crazy different things from my opponents, what I like about this is that I'm just going, this is a reasonably solid setup. It's working. Let's keep doing it just to build my confidence. And just try to execute this thing. I know it's not perfect strategically, but let's just build my confidence by doing the same thing over and over again and just trying to do it well. All I want to do in these games is see iterative improvement, right? And that's something I've been missing, playing random and then, you know, going off to cast Katowice or this event or that event and, you know, going around and having a few different social trips as well outside of StarCraft over the last few months. During the summer, down here in Australia, that's right, we have reverse seasons, Americans. That's crazy, I know. Southern Hemisphere, it's wild. There aren't that many countries and people down here in the south, to be fair. Lots of ocean. All right, so we're going to go for that big Roach Max. Mutas will be coming out behind it. We haven't started them yet. So we're going to try and pick off his units. 4th base is easy pickings. Getting him back to 3 base already feels okay. But you need more than that. If you're maxing on Roaches, and I'm building just 5 Mutas behind this right now, you need to get rid of their important units. Remember, what is the goal as a Zerg? Oh, notice I'm sending half of my Roaches into his base. The other half, are fighting out here in a concave. I end up just splitting a few in there. And I basically said, okay, just manually control these guys. And all I'm trying to do is set up a concave and drop bios on him. And pull back and set up a concave. Because if I just chase him into his batteries, his army looks pretty good. But look, I have enough guys to one-shot. Oh, and I got rid of the Archons first. Because when you run forward clumped up like this, Archons do crazy splash damage. And notice I'm just trying to focus the units down. And this is the joy. If they don't have quite enough units and you have enough Roach Ravager and you kind of pull them out into the open like that, you just run forward and you click on them and it can do devastating damage. Now, I'm disengaging because I haven't been reinforcing that army. But I've droned the gases on my 4th. I'm teching towards lurkers and those mutas are going to fly in. They're doing damage right now. I'm not actually microing them. And it looks like they did do some decent damage. You don't want to go for the stalkers. It's tempting sometimes to kill a warping in stalker or a cannon. But remember, probes, 40 hit points for 50 mineral value. Workers are so much higher cost for so few hit points. So what that means is there's so much value for every bit of damage you're doing, right? Normally against, like, say, a zealot is 100 minerals, but it's got 150 life, almost 4 times as much life, and about 4 times as much effectively because they have an armor as well as a probe, but it only costs twice as much. So you're getting twice the value killing a probe as you are compared to killing that. Buildings are some of the lowest value, but of course there's other benefits rather than their direct cost to killing a Nexus, say.
69 only? Okay, let's build a few more
Okay,
workers.
so check this out, guys. I actually went double upgrades again. Bit slow into me hive, aren't I? I don't think I had a hive on the way. You know what? It was early days with me figuring out what I wanted to do this day. I had the opening down. I didn't have like a set mid to late game plan because obviously that's always a bit looser in StarCraft. There's a bit more flexibility. You usually have set plays that you like to go for and you get better at over time. But I was just going for yet another round of Roach Max since I felt like the first round traded pretty well. And luckily I catch his counterattack strung out in the middle of the map. Take out all the Archons and Immortals. Try to pull back from that Archon splash a bit. And we got ourselves a nice clean victory.
Good ambush there. That felt good. Alright, we got ourselves a ZVT. It's a bit of a tougher matchup. One where I'll need to focus a little bit harder here to make sure we get this one down. 3rd base there, 4th base there, 5th base there. There we go. Make sure we get that hatchery up. 2nd later than it could have been, but that's alright. Even Hero Marine did a review, came to the conclusion that only the single target damage of the Baneling Bug was affected. Had literally no impact on any tournament game. I reckon not no impact, but close enough to no impact that we shouldn't be too worried about it. But just to nitpick, not no impact, just not much impact.
We're talking there, of course, about the Baneling Bug, where it did double damage.
In World War II, bombed out buildings were actually better defensive structures.
Oh, not this discussion.
Because it's hard for people to tell where they're set up. And it's hard to collapse it, right? Because it's already all collapsed and stuff. So you can't, like, blow it up as easily as you can blow up a wall. It's already all crushed down and is, like, much more heavily supported, right? It's like, this thing's already been bombed, man. There's no more weak area on it to take advantage of. Concussion was minimized. I don't really know what concussion actually means exactly.
Yeah, I know concussion is like the blast, but this is a fun little discussion where out of nowhere someone was saying that the shells of blown up buildings in World War II was actually like the,
I know it sounds
the
kind
best
of
cover,
dumb, but
most resistant.
I will admit I am a dum-dum.
Like I get like the concussion, it's kind of like the explosive blast, but I don't know like
cyclone.
how you specify it as a.
I haven't experienced it too much.
How you describe it scientifically?
Responding as Terran Anzog. I would say most important thing is just go for Fuck, he just saw me, I think.
This is Zerg vs Terran, guys. So we're going 4 queen. 4th queen didn't start again. We remembered to start it this time. Someone was asking how to beat cyclones. The advice I would have given was
weird that he's got a
get
bunker
ling
this
speed and
early.
surround them early, and then
I
use
saw a
that to
Reaper,
drone
but
on
maybe
up and
not.
get roach speed. Speedlings are really good against cyclones early game in small to medium numbers, if you can get a surround. And later on, once roach speed's done, roaches are pretty good because you can mass them very, very well. Even though cyclones can be kind of annoying, the moment you kind of trap them and get on top of them, they crumble.
Maybe there's no Reaper.
Extra.
That's it. Factory goes down. Okay.
That's a very late factory,
3-minute factory.
guys.
Maybe there's a fast third CC in
There
there. I don't
has
know.
to be a fast third command center. As I'm saying there, maybe there's a fast third. There has to be. Otherwise, why is the factory down at 3 minutes? Unless it's a second
I'm
factory?
gonna sacrifice through the back. I don't care if I lose it.
Okay, what is this
He
nonsense
does have
build
a
order?
Reaper.
This guy's
How
playing
weird
some
is that?
bizarre craft. It's like delayed Reaper into 3-minute factory. This has got to be one of the more confusing builds I've seen in a while. Maybe it was a command center first. I think it was a command center first. Now, notice this is the 15-15, and I normally play this into Fast Ultra. I'm not sure if I did that this game or not, but Fast Ultra is insane, and
Doesn't
Roach
look like there's a
Infestor
third command center.
is a very good mid game. All right, just trying to hang around. He sees I'm droning, so he knows not to be too stressed. Taking the 4th gas this early, I would say is unnecessary. I think 3 gas and droning up your 3rd is probably a little bit more of a priority with how I've refined this build over the last week or two. And I am a little bit worried about 2-base timing, so I got to make that Overseer and go through. And that's the glory of having such a fast lair. I actually could have started that a while ago, that Overseer. All right, he's being annoying, and I'm sick of him just walking around my
Finally, we
base.
can get rid of that fucker.
I mean, that's how everyone feels, right? When the Reaper just runs circles around your base, refusing to leave. You're like, get out, man. What do they see to the left of the
He's
main,
making
guys?
tanks? Is that what he's making?
Oh, there was a building to the top left I didn't look at. You can see it on the minimap.
There is a third CC.
I think it's an armory or a fusion core, but I don't know which. This guy's definitely playing weird. I'm going to go for a bit of a
I think that's
roach
enough roaches
shove.
and ravages. Maybe just a few more?
So I've decided off this opening, I'm going to push with 4 gas, 44 drone. We're going to go for about 17 roaches, 4 of which I'll turn into ravages, and then I'll drone the 3rd up behind it. And I've got the Overseer to spot for any siege tanks. It's a really weird setup for him. No Hellion pressure, no Marine pressure. Haven't seen any flying units yet either. And there is a tank on the high ground. But notice there is that little Reaper ledge. So I've already queued the Ravages to run over to that right side. I'm making even more Ravages because I feel like this guy's so reliant on tanks. As long as I have enough Ravages to kill the tanks, it's going to be game. So I'm injecting, droning, Evo Chamber and Infestation. And we're moving in to make sure we don't get too blocked. Triple Bile takes out the tank. And now we're going to move that Overseer forward. Roach Ravage is going to come forward as well. And we will take out that Bile very quickly. So we're going to try and Bile around the edges of the bunker to kill the repairing SCVs, but he didn't repair in time. Going to kill that T-Bird. And that is a Thor! Why is there a Thor? Oh, he was going to go for a Thor drop build. Wow. I mean, this is a bizarre build order. But this is the sort of build order where over the past few weeks, I sit back and I panic and I get defensive and I start making mutas and I go, oh god, it's Thors, don't make mutas. And I keep changing my mind. But notice how part of the simplicity of what I've done here, and I'm realizing in hindsight, this wasn't necessarily by design. I knew I wanted to not focus on winning and keep my build simple and just iterate. And on an almost subconscious, semi-conscious sort of level, I've basically just gone for simple attacks off good macro every game, right? And then I tech up behind it. But it's always like, yeah, I'm gonna shove with roaches, see what I can do, and then do the next step. And I'm often winning with the roach shove.
GG.
Because the opening is getting tighter and tighter every single game.
That guy must have been much lower MMR or something, because it's not a very good build. 5k.
What the fudge?
We're playing you again.
All right, guys, we're playing you again. But let's talk about that last game, because in hindsight, I understand it a lot better. Some players just overreact. He saw that my third wasn't down in time and just
on some bugs after this.
out
No
and
worries, mate.
panicked.
Hope you do well in
Absolutely
Venezuela.
panicked, man.
No roof, no windows. That's true.
So
Makes
he
sense.
was just super paranoid, thinking I was going to do like a really fast all-in, so he made a crazy fast tank. Then he thought, oh no, it must be mutas. I need a Thor and vehicle weapons for the Thor. Why not? Might as well do that. And turrets and, you know,
Alright, so you
basically
want the
just
Overlord there. And remember, we skirt the edge of that cliff as our kind
overthought
of getaway path.
everything that was happening in
That
that game.
Overlord's a little bit late by about a second or two. It's not great. It is what it is.
All right, so I accidentally pulled my Overlord back, which is going to delay my scouting. It's not a big deal.
I don't think he's going to cannon rush me. If he does, well done.
So that's
But
me
I'm happy
taking a
to just
calculated
assume he's
gamble,
not.
guys.
And he's
I
staying
feel
up
like
here,
there's a
so
90% chance plus
very
that he's
much
not
doubt
going
he's
to cannon
cannon
rush me
rushing.
because he never cannon rushes. And this is why when you play someone a lot on ladder, it's good to sometimes like throw certain cheeses out just so they have to check for things a bit more. If you don't do those things, your opponents can cut corners against them. This is a lot of what happens at high level StarCraft is knowing your opponent and adjusting to their style. You're like, oh, he never does this. I can get away with this thing, right? I think MMA is always my favorite kind of analogous competition to StarCraft because it's also got a very wide range where like if a player just lacks a certain skill, they can really be abused for it, right? Like if someone has absolutely no ability to wrestle, you could basically just kind of defuse a lot of their skills by just wrestling with them and holding them down or pressing them up against the side of the cage. And it's kind of the same in StarCraft where sometimes a player looks so good on like the ladder and when they're coming up as a pro player. And then they get to like the pros and they beat a few top pros a few times. And then they just seem to be mired in what a lot of the fans call mediocrity. I would say still being an incredibly good StarCraft player, you know, maybe being like a round of 16 guy or something like that. But for a lot of the fans, they go, oh, he's not really winning anything. You know, that's mediocre. Just it's not realistic, but it is how it's perceived, right? So I noticed this like thing where it's like, well, what you don't realize is like now all those top players know how that guy plays. They go into every match prepared, and they're so much more ready for it. By the way, guys, Ling speed started. I pulled off gas. Started the third hatch on 32. The Lings run in for the scout. I didn't click on it in time.
On that earlier.
It's a Twilight or a Robo, though. I know it's one of those. It's not a Stargate. So I can either sacrifice my Overlord, or it doesn't matter. Twilight or Robo, I can do the same response, which is get a Roach Warren in the second gas, probably about 340, 330 if I want to go for really quick Ravages, and drone up to somewhere between 40 and 45 workers. And I know last time he did Glaive Adepts, I was actually a bit greedy. I didn't realize that's what he was doing because of his early second gate. So I'm like, you know what? Let's play a bit safer. Last time I went like 45 drones and got away with it. This time, let's make sure I'm very safe. Stop it just about 40 workers, you know. Just get the 2 mineral lines, the 2 gases, and get the defense up on time.
Shit. I think I
because the
pulled back
last
a bit
game
late.
against him was
I'm
way
gonna go
too
2 more
messy.
Overlords. Let's go Roach Warren.
Once again, Roach
Second
Warren at the front of the
gas. I
naturals
should
a
have
bit
built that
better
in
with
the
the
wall
wall
off
off.
just so I have the chance to wall off.
Oh, I even mentioned it. I even said it live.
That Overlord survives, which it does.
This is
That's
learning
great
in
for
real
me.
time. You see, if I was doing
Leveling on
different
each of those
openings and builds
bases,
every
poke the
game,
front. Ah, he just got back to the wall in time.
just having a poke. I thought I might get in while the Adept wasn't in the wall off because I thought he might have F2'd for the Overlord. But anyways, this is learning in real time. This would not happen if I was doing different builds every game. But I'm like, you can actually see me over the course of this ladder session just adapt the little details or do things just a little bit better. And I would say I'm actually getting a bit more relaxed. Even though my camera, I still look a little bit frantic, for sure. There's a lot of things I'm doing very quickly. I look at this situation, it feels like I'm so much more mentally prepared for what's coming. I forgot to put on gas in my main. Never mind, I take it all back. Oh, man, I thought I was so much better prepared. Now I'm like, why can't I afford many roaches? Luckily, I took my second gas early, and I've still got 1 worker on gas in the main. But I should have 3 on each of those gases. Oh, he does cancel. Oh, God, I wasn't expecting that, even though I should have been. You could just tell by where my screen was centered that I was not expecting that. But he actually stays here and takes a pretty nasty fight. Oh, at the third base. Oh, I had some drones in my third. That's lovely. And there's a prism in my main. Oh, God. Oh, gee. Oh, no. I am falling apart under pressure. You saw the tongue just poke out between my lips. Guys, that tongue comes out when I am under pressure and trying to micro my heart out to get out of a bad position. So right now, I have to run away with the drones. If the queens kill the prism, it might be okay. But the natural, I'm losing all my drones in my natural. Okay, luckily, he might not have been focus firing. Oh my god, the drones are fighting. They're going to run. I quickly just told them to mineral walk to my third, so they lost aggro priority, attack priority. A drone that's attacking has the same priority for the adepts as any other roach or ling nearby. But there we go, I got them all. Oh my god, I got them all. But how many workers do I have? I've got 15 in my main, 14 in my third. I've got 29 workers. Oh my gosh. That's a real crisp one. Good build order. He did hit a crisp build order though. He hit so fast. If I had gone for 45 drones, I'd just be dead. Lucky I went for 40. But even when you go 40 drones, you shouldn't have the extra drones on your third. Just leave them on your natural. Leaving those 2 drones on my third just got them killed for free. Just unnecessary, right? If you're on 38, 40 workers, just have any extra workers.
Getting the prism is big.
Oversaturating your main or nat. Getting the prism is big. I've seen his third base, so I know I have like a minute to drone up and try to recover. But I also know my economy does suck. So if he's able to hit me with another pressure, like if he right now is coming over with like a few adepts or something, it'd be good. But notice my map vision. Lings to see incoming adepts and prisms. Overlords out front, creep spreading. And most importantly underneath it all, macro cycles. Injecting hatcheries, building drones, building overlords, and then putting those drones in the right position, adding any tech or upgrades or vision or creep spread I need, and then another macro cycle. As long as I keep those injects going, we'll be good. And the prism does poke over, but that's a prism you had to rebuild for 250 minerals. They ain't cheap. They are in fact the opposite of cheap. They're bloody fancy units. A couple guys on gas there, a couple guys on gas there, but that does mean my main and my natural are a little undersaturated, and I really need some more scouting. I should be sending an overseer in, because my lair's so late, I haven't really thought about it. Oh, that prism was so close to dying. Now I'm supply blocked on 90. I'm not sure if I've been supply blocked for a while. There we go, 7 overlords. Got a bit distracted by the prism. You see how just him flying a prism across has actually led to me making a pretty big macro mistake. If I wasn't distracted by the prism, I guarantee you I build those overlords. But that just tells me that I wasn't focusing on the right things. Now, that ling replaces that position on the 4th. I need to know if he goes for a 4th base. Still sending more lings out, and the overseer's going to go in for the scout. 8 minutes in the game seems kind of late to be overseer scouting. You got to realize in my instincts tell me to get the adepts hitting as early with as many as he did. I'm guessing he stopped at 32 probes. Like maybe even less than that. Some very low number. He's got a dark shrine, which actually shocks me because I'm like, what? But then I'm like, oh, it's because his prism died. That's why he didn't end up using it. So losing the prism was even bigger for me. If I didn't kill the prism, I probably would have taken catastrophic damage to the Dark Templar. So I'm going to try and just tech up to Lurkers here and Hive, playing very safe because I feel like it's too late to start Aspire or anything fancy. We just have to go for the most safe solid tech, which is, hey, let's get Lurkers and Vipers. I don't know my work account. Hot tip, guys. Hover over your supply in the top right. It'll tell you how much workers versus army you have. Oh, but he's coming for me with Charge Archon. So I just need to make Ravagers. Enough Roach Ravager Ling can defend this. Don't make Hydras until you've got a really big army and you've already got at least one of the 2 Hydra upgrades finished and the other Hydra upgrade on the way. Otherwise, Hydras are very fragile and they're not as mobile as Roaches. Roaches are tankier and more mobile, so you can use them to kind of out-micro your opponent. So as we're trying to drop Biles on top of sentries. Doesn't have sentries, so I just want to kill the Zealot, pull back. Notice how the Immortals aren't really shooting
It's a really
much.
bad attack for him. He's bleeding out too many units.
I don't want to fight the Zealots and the Immortals at the same time. So I have to run up and fight him further forward, because if I fight too far back, it's going to be bad for me. We're going to try and jump on the Immortals. This is a bit of a gamble for me. This could pay off big. This also could backfire in a big way. And I think that was poorly judged. I don't think I needed to push forward there, guys, because we've got a Hive about to finish. Even though it's nice to kind of posture forward, that was unnecessary. This feels like a 3-base all-in. He might have a 4th on the south, though. I'm not checking for a 4th on the south. Overseer is here. Dark Templar goes down. The Observer goes down. As those Archons go down, that's game winning. Because he just lost his entire army. When a Protoss pushes in like that, they are screwed. If he has a 4th up, maybe he can do stuff. But I realize, look, I've got so much momentum. I can probably push in and kill him. But at the very least, if I like deny his fourth or just look for some efficient pickoffs, will be good. He's warping in Zealot DT. DT Archons, which are very expensive Archons. Cheaper on the gas, but still very expensive. Now, those changelings I put on hold position to create a little semi-wall. Double bile in the prism. Doesn't quite land. And we are going to drone up behind it, taking a 5th base on the rich gas. And he just doesn't have any units. So we're able to win with the roaches while we've got Lurk. We've got Hive Tech up. Lurker upgrades on the way. 5th base going down with the rich gas. And whenever that Immortal comes forward, unless he picks it up, it will go down. It's going to be GG. Rallied some drones into the fight accidentally. Definitely a little bit stressful there. But that was a hugely committed timing. It is meant to be stressful to defend that. So I think that's actually an understandable reaction.
Avocado Lord. Ooh, it's a Terran. Good luck, have fun, Avocado Lord. And Clan WTL. Is this an admin from WTL, I wonder? Doubt it. Maybe? Maybe they are.
All right, you can see me getting quite happy there. And that is actually another funny
I've been
thing.
getting way back to the... way more used to, what do you call it, guys? 15-15, it feels so natural now for me. It's great. Don't particularly like it versus Zerg, though. But that's alright. Have you seen D's? Oh, low effort, man. Low effort. You gotta do better than that. I'm old. I'm not that old. If I fall for that one, it's gonna be truly impressive.
Twitch chat trying their hardest to get me to fall for the...
How many times do I need to tell you to build, dude?
I'm misclicking a lot.
Wild.
I'm misclicking a lot.
I don't know if I was fat fingering it or what. I must have been.
Twitch chat was
Maybe
trying to
because
get me
it
to
was
do
on the bottom of my screen, I was
the...
technically
Oh, what are
clicking computer,
D's?
and
They
that
go,
doesn't-
D's nuts.
that's
Suck on
still-
D's
that's
nuts.
still
Ha ha ha.
quick
It's
Yeah, I don't know. Something happened.
the lowest form of Twitch bait, but it happens. Now we are getting a bit excited though. It's easy to get distracted. You get on a bit of a high. You're winning lots of games. Game 9, guys. We're up
We're
8
talking
games.
about FPS, not refresh rate, not hertz. You
Admittedly-
can play with 60 hertz is not too bad. I mean, it's still nicer to have less, of course, but it's not too bad. But if you're dipping your frames real low, like it gets pretty hard. Gets pretty hard. Anything below 100, I feel like, starts to impact one's micro abilities a fair bit.
So it's funny, guys. Earlier on, I said I don't like the 15-15 is feeling really natural now because I'm practicing it a lot today. Guess what? I said I didn't like it in ZVZ just then in the video.
Hello.
I actually love it now. I've been doing it a lot. I just have been mixing in very decisive roach timings versus some
Two
people.
wings.
Really good information
Just 2 on
denial
gas for now, guys. Should be fine.
with the queens denying overlords. And I've
There,
actually been having a lot of
yeah,
success in
let's go. Third
ZVZ
base
with
up
it.
there.
I still
Fourth
don't think
base
it's the
here, fifth
best for
base up there.
ZVZ, but I've
You guys
actually
know I
had
like to
great
expand in
results.
straight lines whenever I can. I don't see a Reaper. That's probably because you already went past.
It's also incredibly safe. Like game 1 of this video, remember? That sort of speedling all in. Your transfuses kick in way later after injecting. If you go for a 16 hatch. 12 seconds later. Getting inject 12 seconds earlier? Pretty big, man. So you can see here, guys, we're doing 4 queen. Reaper came in, forced a spore trick, but our lings have gone by. We should go after the SCV on the command center. That's the higher value target. Then we can fight the marine afterwards. If we can kill the SCV, that's like I said, the much higher value target. But there we go.
bit slow
Reaper
on
gets
that.
forced home. Now this map can be kind of hard, man. Terran
Come on,
is
Overlord. Oh, really? We don't have
very
another one?
good on this map. I don't even know why. But Terran just does well. They seem to pick Zerg players apart on this map. I think there's just some really nice tank spots, and the Zerg bases get so spread out. I feel like Zerg often just takes damage to harassment that they don't take on other maps. We'll see if I can buck that trend. I mean, I have a pretty simple build order. So I'm putting my 3rd worker on gas. Lairs on the way. We take a 2nd gas, a roach horn, and a 3rd gas. Oh, do we get him? Not quite.
I wonder if I could have stutter stepped that to get it.
Stutter stepping queens is really hard, guys, because they're a unit with 2 attacks. So you need to let them finish their first attack before activating the second attack. Otherwise, it won't complete both attacks, and you'll only get 4 damage rather than 2 times 4 equals 8. Quick maths. Like I said, one of the things I've done with this opening for ZVT in the past few weeks, made it much more reliable, much more flexible, is I just stay on 3 gas. The 4th gas allows you to make a few more ravages or an overlord speed or a faster infestation. But there are situations where you really just want to drone that 3rd up earlier, or you want to hit your roach attack just a little bit faster. And instead, pushing off 41 drone 3 gas, it hits faster than 4 gas 44 drones, and you drone up your 3rd faster behind it. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. It's a better economic build, and it's a better pressure. Whereas this one I'm doing here, it's not bad. It's just not quite as sharp. And look at that. Fast oversit always gets in. We're massing roaches off the 2 bases now. Oh, we can see a lot of Hellions. So I'm going to wall off with my queens. Hold position. So right-click, hold position, right-click, hold position. And we see 3rd command center into tank bio. Now I'm going to come out because my roaches are popping now. Even if he runs past, he's going to meet a pack of roaches. We're going to go for an infestation and Evo chamber. And this is the Ultralist build, guys. Some of you may have remembered I did a video about Cyril's Ultra build that beat Maru and how I love it and it's so good and this is how you do it. If you guys want to check that out, I'll link that one down below the video.
Forces are under attack.
So notice I'm playing this one defensively. I think because I saw the tech lab on the factory, I was just like, let's just drone the 3rd up. Let's not play offensively at all. Let's just basically beeline towards those the ultras. So Carapace starts, Hive starts, and then we go Ling Speed and 2nd Evo Chamber. And we're doing a poke. We're actually going to get a tank. This is a 6 roach poke, and yet it's getting pretty nice damage. This is actually awesome. SCV on the 3rd as well. A few more Marines. If we can kill them before their upgrades are done, that's always value. Killing the Hellions as well, so they can't counterattack. This is fantastic. So notice I had 2 queens and an overseer in the main, as well as other queens out the front. Because I knew there was a Banshee out, I was being very well prepared for that. So we're respreading our creep, all sides. We're taking a 4th base, which could have been down earlier. And you might think, well, this was a 2-base roach push, right? But because I didn't commit to too many roaches, it's 6.5 minutes, and my 3rd is oversaturated. So I'm above 66 workers. I'm at like 70 workers right now, and I've got a 4th starting. And my hive's almost done.
Oh, I didn't mean to build triple. Whoops.
Triple Evo Chamber is indeed an accident. I need to build a lot more Overlords, though. You'll notice my supply is just so low. I'm building 4 Infestors. You can see on Control Group 3 down the bottom. So I'm going to have 4 Infestors to help defend. But it is 7 minutes, man. Even though I did a bunch of damage and stuff, he could still arrive with Stim and Medevac soon. So I should be building some Roaches and Lings. Ultra Cavern's going to go down. Watching this, I'm realizing just how greedy I'm being. This is good and bad. It's number 1, I'm being greedy. But why am I being greedy? Because I did so much damage. We did so much damage, I feel like I'm really far ahead. So I'm like, yeah, well, let's get further ahead, man. And to be fair, I've had situations like this with this build, where if the Marines run in right now, you think, oh god, 16 Marines, but you have 4 Fungals, and you have like 7 Queens. Yes, 2 of them are up in the main, 1 in the natural, 1 in the 3rd, only a few out front. But if you bring even 4 or 5 Queens together, plus a couple Fungals, those Marines are dead. Unless they know about the
fighting
infestors.
units right now. I have no fighting units.
I've just
he
realized
looked like a defensive player. You know what I'm talking about?
he looked
Sometimes
defensive.
They just look like they're just going to sit there the whole game.
Oh my god, I'm only now building my first 12 units and there's an army on my doorstep. Oh my god. Oh, juicy fungal. I need a 3rd. You need 3 fungals these days if you want to pop Marines,
kill
guys.
one of my infestors, that's alright.
He got an infestor kill, and I'm out of fungal right now. Chitinous plating didn't start, which is bad, and I'm supply blocked. Okay, guys, I need to links around. Cut off the reinforcement.
I have energy for the next bit.
He doesn't know that I don't have more fungals. So there we go. Lings are going to go for a counterattack. If I can just distract him, buy some time. Hopefully I don't lose them all. And I'm trying to take more hatcheries, which seems crazy. But I've just desperately got to buy time. Oh, we're actually going to get on top of those front Marines because the tanks aren't sieged. Get back. Okay, we're staying way too long. If the Marines run forward, though. Nice fungal. Oh my god, these fungals are actually sick. Oh my god. Oh, I forgot.
Guys are tearing it up.
Oh, and the Lings are tearing up his 3rd at the same time. Did I just defend with like a few roaches? And now ultras are popping. They don't have chitinous yet though, so I really don't want to run my ultras into their death just yet. You got to be careful. You don't want to go in 1 unit at a time, Piggy. You do not want to go in 1 unit at a time. Let that base die. He's on 2 base mining because I killed all the workers on his 3rd. Okay, so we're going to try and flank his siege tanks there. All right, let's go, go, go. Tanks. Oh, we lost most of the lings before we got on top. The ultra's going to go down. Oh, these fights are bad. I'm getting a bit too excited. I'm letting that little pack of marines and tanks get way too much value. All I need to do was give up the base, pull back. But I got a bit stubborn there. We're going to send Maulings in for a counterattack. I don't know if I went Adrenal Glands this game. We've got the Infestors burrowing in from behind. And I do need a Spire because you don't have a lot of things that shoot up with this build. Okay, we're going to try and get on top of the tanks. If we can get rid of the tanks, that's huge. Remember, he might only be on 1-1. He might not have 2-2. I should have +2 carapace by now. And, oh, Queen is there. Luckily, oh, the Marine. No, run away. Piss off, Marine. Okay, thankfully the other Queens are doing good damage. My opponent's 3rd is lifted. I've been mining 3 full bases the whole time, and I saved every drone from my 4th. So even though this game's a hot mess, what a fun little game it was. I think it's because I was playing so much CVP, and I got a bit excited over the fact that I'm 8-0, including a lever, let's be honest. I did not remember there was a lever, though, when I looked at the match history during the sesh, which is why I was so excited. And I'm up 8-0, and this one's turned into a really fun game, but it's a fun game that's in my comfort zone. Zerg vs Terran, as long as I've got Infestors out, Lings and Ultras, I am so comfortable playing from behind with this comp, and my Ultras just ripped his Marines to shreds. Absolutely.
A bit of a scary moment with the delay on the Ultras due to the supply block.
There was 2 giant supply blocks, not just one. A win's a win, though. I'll take it.
It's a fun build. I like that build a lot. I do it so much worse than Cyril, but that's okay.
Yes, Pig, you are not as good as Cyril. You do not do that build as good as him. We simply draw inspiration from the greats. We are not them.
We immortalize this ladder run today, please? I can only play one more game anyway. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 wins.
Of course, I couldn't leave it there. We're at 9-0. I had to click Q game one more time. Hope you tune in again tomorrow to find out what ended up happening to culminate and top off this ridiculous ladder session. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night. Bye-bye.